So, you guys know about the flooding going on in Kerr County, Texas, right? Did you all know that Kerr County, Texas was supposed to be sent $10.2 million from Joe Biden to fund their emergency flooding program, to make sure that in the event that any of this happened, they'd be prepared and people would be safe? Do you know what they did with that money? They rejected the purpose of what it was for and chose to utilize it to raise the salaries of police officers. And to make matters worse, chat, they recorded themselves disrespecting Joe Biden and mocking him in the money he sent. Little did they know, four years later, the chickens would come home to roost. Other left-wing content creators might not be willing to talk about this, might not be willing to be rough and tough where they need to be, but I am. They chose this. They asked for this. I feel bad for the children because kids don't know shit. You know, I saw some crazy person was like, oh, these kids are future fascists. These are children being led by adults who think like this. I'll show you.
We do not want more of Biden's mandates attached to keeping Biden's money.
But these people are communists. They hate America. They're teaching it in our schools. They're invading the border as we speak. I don't think we should take any money from the federal government because they can't be trusted.
Now, we don't need these funds here. We've done just fine. And we'll get by without them. But you spend this money, you're signing a contract with the devil, and the devil's in the White House.
If you vote to keep Biden's money, I will hold you personally responsible and personally liable.
The Biden regime has proven to be tyrannical and anti-American. There is no part of this administration that has the good of America or Americans at heart. We want no part in anything coming down from the federal government. This is Texas, and Texans can take care of Texas.
And I don't believe we should take the money. We should not have it. I don't trust our federal government. I don't think that they're truthful with us. And in these days and these times or whatever, we can't afford to make a mistake.
This is them openly bragging about misappropriating the funds that Biden sent. Because realize and understand, the money was received, and I'll tell you exactly what they spent it on. A community that overwhelmingly voted for President Donald Trump in 2016, 2020, and 2024, Kerr County constructed an economic engine on the allure of the Guadalupe River. Government leaders acknowledged the need for more disaster mitigation, including a $1 million flood warning system that would better alert the public to emergencies to sustain that growth, but they were hamstrung by a small and tight-fisted tax base. In 2021, Kerr County was awarded a $10.2 million windfall from the American Rescue Plan Act, or ARPA, which Congress passed that same year to support local governments impacted by the pandemic. Cities and counties were given flexibility to use the money on a variety of expenses, including those related to storm-related infrastructure. Corpus Christi, for example, allocated $15 million of its ARPA funding to rehabilitate and or replace aging stormwater infrastructure. Waco's McLennan County spent $868,000 on low water crossings. Kerr County did not opt for ARPA to fund flood warning systems despite commissioners discussing such projects nearly 24 times since 2016. In fact, a survey sent to residents about ARPA spending showed that 42% of the 180 responses wanted to reject the $10 million bonus altogether, largely on political grounds. I'm here to ask this court today to send this money back to Biden. Send it back to the Biden administration, which I consider to be the most criminal, treasonous communist government to ever hold the White House, one resident told commissioners in April of 2022. So, great words of wisdom from one stupid fucking resident. We don't want to be bought by the federal government, thank you very much. Another resident told commissioners, we'd like the federal government to stay out of Kerr County and their money. So another, iteration, another, very, very well thought out, philosophically ironed out take from the highly educated, illustrious Kerr County, Texas, okay? It doesn't get any better and more wise and more intelligent than this. These people are fucking unsavable, bro. Let's read the worst part about it. Here's where the money went. When it was all said and done, reading the center of the screen right now, the center. When it was all said and done, the county approved $7 million in ARPA dollars on a public safety radio communication system for the sheriff's department and county fire services to meet the community's needs for the next 10 years. Although earlier estimates put that contract at $5 million. Another $1 million went to sheriff's employees in the form of stipends and raises. And just over $600,000 went toward additional county positions. Okay, nice little corruption. A new walking path was also created with the ARPA money. This is what they're doing. This is what they are doing with people's money. Seriously. Now, shout out to the fire department, but look at what the sheriff's employees did. Seriously. $1 million to sheriff's employees in the form of stipends and raises. This was funding meant for emergency purposes, for floods. They took the money they said they wouldn't take. They took Biden's money. They took that communist money and spent it on the cops. And the fire department, there's, shout out to the fire department. Love y'all. I don't even hate the police. I like the cops. I do. I love the cops. I like law enforcement. We all call the cops. It is what it is. But God, really? Okay, so raises for the police and nothing for the average everyday citizen who's at risk of being killed by a flood. And they thought they had the last laugh. They were talking all type of shit, chat. They were talking crazy. These niggas it was like a whole diss track for Biden. They just look at this, just person after person after just going off on Biden. Communist, demon, antichrist, the devil's in the White House, all of that. Look at me talk about Biden. Now, do you think these people have judged anything Trump has done? Trump can take away the health care of rural Americans that need it, and he's not the devil. Biden commits the crime of being liberal, and now all of a sudden he's the devil, and he's at the head of the Biden regime. They talked all that shit, and look at what happened. Look at what happened after talking all that shit. Stop playing with God. Stop playing with God. Stop fucking playing with God. All that shit that was talking, look at all that shit that was talking. This is why conservatives cannot run this country. This is why. They don't listen. Can't nobody tell these niggas nothing. I've told y'all multiple times the problem with conservatives is pride. That ego, that pride, it's what fuels their racism, their sexism, all of that. They think they're better than people, bro. They think they're better than white liberals. They think they're better than black folks. Bro, they think they're better than, and you can't tell these niggas nothing. They don't listen. They don't listen. And unfortunately, liberal media is so pussy. They won't take this clip and put it all over the internet because it deserves to be. People need to see what Trump supporters are really like. They do it to themselves, bro. And then they'll have the audacity to sit there and blame the federal government for why they're, no. You had the chance to prepare for this. Biden, they don't say Trump failed. They say, the government failed us. Nigga, Trump is basically damn near the king at this point. Say Trump. They can't bring themselves to do it. They must put the blame on the nameless, faceless government. When Biden was in office trying to help him, they didn't care. He was a communist. He was a socialist. He was a demon. He's the devil. Never mind the literal antichrist born on a blood moon. Oh, no. He must be sent by God. Totally not an ominous, totally not the universe saying, bro, the universe is trying to tell niggas Trump is crazy, and we're all just like, no, thank you, universe. No, thank you. The universe has to be a woman, bro. I swear the universe is a woman because the universe be trying, bro. The universe be trying over and over and over, trying to, they don't listen, bro. The universe be so patient, trying to, come on, guys, conservatives, they don't fucking listen, bro. Look at these niggas, bro. Look at all the shit they talk about Biden, bro. They playing with they're playing with God, the universe, all that. You can't tell they're never wrong. They're never wrong. Ever, dude. If Trump was waiting for them at the bottom of a cliff, they'd jump. Bro, if Trump was waiting for them at the bottom of a cliff, they'd jump. I'm telling you, bro. It's true. Bro, that ego, bro, that conservative ego, that conservative pride, bro. It's that ego, that pride. That it's what drives the racism, the sexism, the homophobia, all of that, the ego and the pride. They're not doing this because they feel, they're not doing this for a real reason. They literally sat there and rejected what needed to be accepted on the basis of pride and ego. This clip needs to be on CNN. It needs to be on MSNBC. It should be exposed who these people are because they hate you. Liberals don't have the stomach for it. This is it's kind of uncouth. It's kind of really, people are dying and then there's people dying. Shut the fuck up, nigga. This clip needs to, because people are dying, this clip needs to be everywhere. Okay? Never listen to anybody who says, your vote doesn't matter. Yes, it does. Conservatives will vote and bring about results like this if you don't vote. This is what they do to everything they touch. It turns to shit. Absolute shit. They won't take Biden's money as if Biden is some kind of record label. This ain't Bad Boy Records, nigga. Bro, Biden is using your taxpayer money. Or actually blue states' money. Because, blue states unfortunately have to subsidize the absolute fucking bottomless pit that is conservative America. So we end up paying for them. And then they do shit like this. They say, oh, we don't want the money, but actually we'll take a little bit of it. Thank you very much. And we're going to raise money for the police, and we're going to give them a raise, and we're going to, do all of that. And we're going to pay some people in the county who run this and run that. But, the average everyday people, protecting them from the floods, sounds like a lot. No, thank you. See ya. These people don't deserve the help of the rest of the country. Dead ass. All these grown folks who you see bragging and talking shit, they need to be in there right now fixing this. They don't deserve sympathy. They don't deserve money. From who? The rest of the country? Oh, you had your check. Biden tried to give it to you. You said no, and you disrespected Biden. And now look at you. Hey, bro, don't play with God, bro. Don't play with God. This is the type of shit that happens, bro. Bro, what the fuck this obsession with Biden, bro. Biden is trying to help you. They hate America. If Biden hates America, why is he trying to help you? They don't listen, bro. And then they end up in situations like this, bro. And they never get held accountable because the left is a bunch of pussies. The left won't sit there and say, aha, found you, got you. Instead, the left says, that's kind of rough. It's a little bit harsh, isn't it? Let's move on. Move on? We finally caught them in the act. Y'all ain't gonna say nothing? Whatever. No more Fed money should ever go to a red state. I really feel like conservatives need to have their little no health care, no nothing ethno state, and just let them taste. Let them have a little taste of the third world. Let them have a taste. Seriously, swear to God, conservatives without their white liberal counterparts would implode. That's what I've learned from looking at politics. Conservatives have convinced themselves we're superior, we're better. I don't know, man. I feel like if we took the white liberals and put them here and the white conservatives, but we know who's going to self-destruct, bro. Conservatives, bro, they're fucking retarded, bro. They're crazy. Psychotic people, bro. Really crazy. And you get shit like this. They kept the money and fucking corrupted it for fuckery. That's how they weren't even honorable enough to go seppuku. They couldn't even say, Biden, man, fuck your money. They took some of the money and spent it on bullshit. And now look at them. But they don't believe in none of the shit they talk about. Texas is a fucking GTA server. Your senator is in Greece and in Cancun while you're being flooded and frozen to death. And you get shit like, bro, Texas is not a city. Don't mess with Texas. Boy, y'all need to stop messing with each other. Pause. You niggas, instead of warning the entire country about how bad y'all are, boy, y'all niggas need to sort yourselves out quick. Because this has got to be the most embarrassing state right after Florida, my nigga. Dead ass crazy. All that shit these niggas was talking, but they was talking so much shit about Biden, bro. Talking so much shit about Joe Biden, bro. So much. Bro, conservatives don't deserve democratic leadership, bro. Seriously, bro. Everyone in this country needs to see this, man. Fuck these people.